Hey, I'm Creech and this is Creech & Cars. Today, I'll be giving you an early look at the upcoming Kia EV8, which will likely be a spiritual successor to the Stinger. Like many of you, I was very disappointed when the Kia Stinger was cancelled after the 2023 model year. I could go on and on about the Stinger, but in short, it was an excellent near-luxury sports sedan with good looks and solid performance, all at a bargain price. It's not unreasonable to suggest that the Stinger could be a future classic. While a lot of change is happening with electrification, the new car market is also shifting away from sedans, a trend that has been steady for some time now. This led many people to believe that the Stinger would be dead forever, and it seems for now that the true Stinger model will remain a thing of the past, but Kia is introducing a new GT sedan for the future, which will be known as the EV8. We don't know for sure what the Kia EV8 will look like by the time it gets to production, and Kia is really changing up its design language for its electric models, along with just revamping the brand image in general, but we do know this new sedan, which has been internally named the GT1, is in development as the Kia brand's larger, sportier sedan. There are a few renderings to take a look at that shed some light on the potential design of the EV8's exterior, incorporating what we've seen so far from models like the EV6 and EV9, as well as some design cues from the Stinger. I particularly like this rendering from Car Scoops. Here, the EV8 takes a lot of cues from the EV6, and I think the design looks much sportier and more aggressive in sedan form. Obviously, the EV8 sits much lower than the EV6, and the thin LED running lights really set the tone up front as they morph into an electrified take on the Tiger Nose grille. The actual functional grille is located lower on the bumper with the switch in powertrain, but that one still looks good sandwiched between a couple of large side air curtains. The bullet fender flares are similar to the EV6, and they house nice and sporty multi-spoke wheels. The side profile shares a lot in common with both the Stinger and the EV6, with the blacked out A-pillar and then the way the bodywork rises around the C-pillar. The roofline slopes back aggressively, and this rendering shows it with a rear wing, which is similar to the Stinger GT2, and I think the production version of the EV8 will have a little lip spoiler maybe, or just something more restrained on the lower models, and then on the EV8 GT, it may have a larger wing like what you see here. On the back end, I think there's a really nice blend of the old and new design styles. The light bar is reworked, and there's some black accents that kind of create the Tiger Nose look to match what's up front. Overall, I think this is a really clean and sleek design. This still looks bold and muscular, so I hope the actual production model looks as good or better. Moving inside, I think the EV8 will have a lot in common with the EV6, especially with the interior of the GT trim of the EV6, which is very sporty for the segment. Inside the EV6, the digital gauge cluster and infotainment screen stick out of the dash behind a two-spoke steering wheel. The interior is mostly black, and there are a lot of gloss black panels and trim pieces that won't hold up well long term, but I think the lime green accents work really well here, and that's what really sets this interior apart. There is some Alcantara on the door panels, but the stars of the show in here are the seats. They're really nice black leather bucket seats with Alcantara inserts and, of course, the lime accenting. They do have these slots for a racing harness that I doubt anyone who drives an EV6 would ever use, but it really looks nice, especially with the addition of the aluminum. The rear bench gets a similar treatment with the Alcantara and contrast stitching and piping, albeit less aggressive than the front bucket seats. The space in the EV8 will probably be more than ample, except for headroom, which can suffer as a result of that low roofline, especially in the rear. The EV8 should keep the rear hatch design found on the Stinger, which definitely adds to the practicality, makes it easier to load things in or store larger objects in the back. You can expect some nice everyday features because the EV8 will be on the pricier side for Kia. Things like heated and cooled front seats, a wireless charger, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as the 14-speaker Meridian sound system should be standard on the EV8. While that's nice, with the EV8 replacing the Stinger, performance is going to be a major concern. Here, I do think the electric powertrain will turn off a lot of Stinger fans. The good news is Kia documents revealed some pretty impressive numbers that we'll get into in a second. Firstly, the EV8 will be built on the EM platform, which is still in development and is going to be Hyundai and Kia's next generation EV skateboard platform. With this platform, Kia plans to offer 3 different powertrains. The base model will offer a single rear-mounted motor that will provide just 214 horsepower. I can't see this trim being very popular, but the GT line bumps the power way up to 429 horsepower using a dual motor all-wheel drive setup. Above that, the top trim GT model will have the same dual motor all-wheel drive setup, but the GT will get 603 horsepower. That's compared to a maximum output of about 370 horsepower for the Stinger GT2. Range will be solid as well, as the EV8 will get a larger battery pack than the EV6 and even the EV9. The new EM platform will allow for the use of a 113.2 kilowatt-hour battery pack. This means the base model with the single motor will be good for well over 400 miles on a single charge. With more motors and much more power, the GT line and GT will definitely suffer in the range department. The EV6 GT has a range of just over 200 miles, and while Hyundai claims the new platform and battery pack can increase range by up to 50%, I'm still skeptical for now. 0 to 60 should come pretty close to 3 seconds, maybe 3.1 or 3.2 in real world conditions, although keep in mind that range will really take a hit if you are punching it a lot. The EV8 is set to go into production in South Korea sometime in 2026. No information on pricing is available just yet, but Kia plans for its full lineup to range in price from $30,000 up to $80,000, and I think the EV8 will be up there as one of the more expensive models. I think the base EV8 will be in the mid $50,000 range, while the GT will top out close to $80,000, and the GT line will fall somewhere in the middle there. So with all that in mind, could the EV8 really be a successful successor to the Stinger? I think there is a lot of potential here, although initially many enthusiasts will be upset about the transition to electric power. With that being said, I think there are some similarities to the Porsche Taycan. Bringing the Taycan to market was a bit risky for Porsche, with the enthusiast market being more resistant to EVs and the mass market being more resistant to sedans, but it's been working out pretty well for Porsche so far. I see the EV8 grabbing a decent slice of that pie, as it's sort of the poor man's Taycan, although I would also see it as the scrupulous man's Taycan for people who want a fairly luxurious, high-performance electric sedan without the exorbitant costs associated with the Porsche badge. Still, name brand matters, and that's likely a big reason behind the Stinger's struggle to gain market share. So this won't be easy for Kia to pull off. If the EV8 can deliver on the performance promises, while also maintaining a high build quality and material quality, then it might just work. Kia also has the EV2, EV3, and EV4 as cheaper models in the pipeline to help build out this lineup, so those will be on their way as well. But for now, that's all we know so far about the upcoming 2026 Kia EV8 sports sedan. Let me know what you think about the EV8 in the comments down below. If you like this video, check out the rest of the channel for more like it, and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.